What is going on YouTube? Your boy Rude Money back with the Better Sweet Life. Now I'm gonna make a quick video during my lunch break, so just bear with me if it's maybe not the best video, the best content, or you get to see too much. However, I was just thinking, I'm like, well, I could review boot mode. A lot of people call it boot mode, BootMod3, whatever you want to call it. I do call it boot mode because I do know that they replaced that 3 for an E, so it just makes sense as boot mode, and that's what I call it. Call it what you want, it doesn't really matter. At the end of the day, we're all talking about the same thing. Now boot mode is definitely a must-have. That's for me. That's for me. I haven't tried MHD. I haven't tried all those other ones or whatever. I just tried boot mode. I did some research on it. It just seemed like, for me, it just seemed like the most user-friendly, kind of like the most legitimate one. They just kind of like have more to them, at least from what I saw. They just offer more when you have the off-the-shelf maps, with the pricing, people being active on it, being able to get a custom tune off of people that just off of the same app or whatever. It's really good. It's really good. I like it. I liked it. That's why I decided to choose boot mode or boot mod or whatever. So yeah, I love it. That's definitely a must-have for me. I do enjoy the fact that you can switch up your verbals, your tunes, your whatever you want to do, customize every single tune off the shelf maps. Now with pricing, it was a little pricey. Every tune, however, is pricey. You notice, like, every single tune is going to be pricey. So I don't feel like BootMod gave you a bad bundle for the price that they're offering. So for $650, you actually managed to get the actual license or the key or whatever it is to actually download it and be able to enter inside their system, whatever. And then for an extra, like, I believe it was an extra $50, if I'm not mistaken, it was an extra $50. So regularly it would have been $600 just for the tune. I believe like one off-the-shelf map or 2 off-the-shelf maps. With the extra $50, you get every single off-the-shelf map. Now, if you are planning on customizing your car, all right, and I mean really customizing your car, like going stage 1, 2, 3, whatever, which I did. That was my plan. That's why I decided to do that. I decided to go for the extra $50, get all the shelf maps. If not, then you're probably gonna be paying, I think it was like maybe 20, 30 bucks per map, off the shelf map. So it's like, it was stupid. You're gonna save a lot more money just paying the $50 up front. If you don't have the $50 up front, I do suggest just holding off until you get that extra $50, due to the fact that it is gonna save you a lot of money in the long run, especially if you're planning, like I said, going stage 1, 2, 3. Now stage 1, they say you don't need anything. Okay, they say you don't need no type of modifications. You just go stage 1 and, like, that's it. You just kind of run it. I had that experience. Like, I went through that, and honestly, maybe because it's a 2014 or whatever it was, all right, my charge pipe actually blew. At that point, I already had a cold air intake in my car, and actually that's about it. All I had really was a cold air intake, and nothing else was done to my car. Nothing. So it was just a cold air intake and stage 1, and my charge pipe blew. My charge pipe actually blew. So, or not blew, but, like, it broke off where the sensor goes in, and that little, the little weld right there, that's kind of where the weak spot is in the plastic. So that happened. So I had to, like, actually park my car for a few days until I bought the charge pipe from Evolution Raceworks. It took a while to come in. It took about like maybe 2 weeks or whatever since I ordered it, and it did take a little bit. So I suggest, if you are going to get boot mode, already have a charge pipe. They say you don't need anything, but do yourself a favor and already have the charge pipe. If you got a newer car where it's maybe like a year or 2 old, maybe that plastic is not as brittle and hasn't gone through so much heat, then you could probably survive a few months or a year or 2 on just regular basic, nothing done, just stock parts. However, with me, that wasn't the case. It broke. So there's that. The next thing would be, definitely boot mode is really amazing. Like, if you want to go ahead and like, let's say, take off the government, where it won't actually pass 149 or 159 miles per hour, you have the option to turn that off. You have the the race start, where you can start up your vehicle and it just goes at higher RPMs and gives it like a louder, more aggressive startup at cold start. You got your burble tune, so you can make it very aggressive, kind of like in the middle, very loud or lengthy, or how long you want it to kind of last or whatnot. And you can actually modify all that on this app, or this program, this tune, whatever you want to call it. You could do all that. You could leave your valves open or your flaps open for your exhaust. You can leave that open at all times. I left it OEM. I like the sound. I like my car as original or as stock as possible when it comes to functionality. So I don't want to leave the valves open all the time. Like, I don't want to hear that drone. I don't want to be like extra loud 24/7 365, some Ricer status shit. I don't need it. I don't want it. Like, if I step on my fucking gas and my valves open, I don't need to be open at all times. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of times where I'm just cruising, I'm just chilling, and I don't really want to hear a drone in my car, and there's no point to hear the drone if I'm just stuck in traffic anyways, or I'm going like 5 miles per hour. Why have the valves open where it's just much louder, much more annoying, and it's just not practical. So there's that, like stuff like that I actually do leave. See, what else can you do on boot mode? Boot mode, so you have your stage 1 where they say you didn't need anything. You have your stage 2. Your stage 2, they say that you need an intercooler, and you actually need a downpipe. Okay, I personally have I went with the Evolutions Racework high flow catted downpipe. I do not ever, now this is not a recommendation or not, this is a personal preference type of thing. So it's not a recommendation because I think something's better than the other, performance wise or numbers wise or whatnot. Price wise, you guys have that. Whoever those you catless people, you guys got that. Price wise, save an extra like what was it, I think it was like $500 for the catless, and then $900 for the catted. So you're looking at $400 difference. All right, now I did spend an extra $400 on the high flow cat, simply due to the fact that you shouldn't be putting catless anything on any car other than a Honda or a Miata or some JDM Ricer kind of like small shit like that. Like, I just don't recommend. It just sounds like shit. It just sounds like ass. It just sounds like trash. It doesn't sound good, especially not for a car like a BMW 535 at that, you know, where it's just gonna be high pitch if you step on it. I don't like that sound. It just sounds very obnoxious. It sounds cheap. It sounds very cheap. Now I went with the Evolution Raceworks high flow catted downpipe. As stated, $900. Definitely does it make a difference in sound? Yes. Performance? No. They say that the catless is more airflow and blah blah blah. In reality, the high flow catted downpipe, the reason why it's high flow is because it requires, like, it allows more flow. Okay, so if you actually look, I forgot how many, I think it was like 400 holes per square inch on a high flow cat versus 200 holes per square inch on a stock. So you definitely double the amount of holes per square inch on the high flow cat, and that alone kind of just tells you where there's a lot more flow going on rather than a stock, you know, catted downpipe. So that kind of like goes to show that, yeah, there is a difference when it comes to stock and high flow cat. Now catless and high flow cat, there's really not a huge difference. The numbers are like minimal, if anything, if any actually. So it's really not gonna make a difference between high flow cat and catless. The only difference you will have between high flow cat and catless is the sound, which honestly the high flow catted sounds 1,000 times better, always will, even on muscle cars. So you muscle car fanatics that just want to cut cats and do all that high pitched sound sounds like shit. Sorry to inform you, sounds like shit. Taking a cheap route sounds like shit. Okay, so instead of just cutting off your cat, you guys are paying about what, $200 to cut your cats? Yo, just go get yourself some high flow cats. All right, maybe per cat you're looking at $230, $200. If you go to G Exhaust Local Miami, I think somebody told me that for their Mustang they were selling it at $200 per cat, high flow cat. So that's actually not bad at all. I paid for my Chrysler 300. Now these are cats that just go into your exhaust, part of your exhaust. This is not the high flow cat that goes inside the downpipe. For those of you that don't know, there's no downpipe on my Chrysler 300 or a Charger or whatnot. They don't have turbos. That's kind of like a turbo piece, the part that goes directly to the turbo. They have catalytic converters connected to the exhaust. So yes, I have high flow catalytics actually coming in for the Chrysler 300S and stuff like that, whatever. So it's actually not that expensive. All right, if you guys are paying that much to just get them cut off, just pay it. All right, get it, save an extra check, and then pay to replace it and have a good sound rather than just that cheap shit just to get it done. So yeah, you're gonna need a high flow, or a different catalytic converter, or downpipe rather say, I'm sorry, a different downpipe. You need an upgraded downpipe, and you also need a cold air an intercooler. Sorry, well, you need an intercooler for stage 2. Now stage 3 was not really stage 3. They don't call it stage 3. You just got your next stage, which is for an upgraded turbo. So if you have an upgraded turbo, well, obviously it's going to change all your pressures and your blah blah blahs and whatever, your ratios. So there's a difference. There's going to be a difference in tune. So that's another tune I didn't have to buy. I already bought it with the off-the-shelf map. I got all those maps. If I want the E85 blend, I got the E85 blend. If I'm just driving full E85, I got the full E85 tune. You got all different types of tunes. So all these tunes you're getting for 650 bucks, and it's a great price. It's a great product. It's a great system. You know, you can do it right off your phone if you have that little, I forget what it's called, Seago, whatever, OBD to Wi-Fi to bullshit. I don't have that. I personally have an older laptop that does still have the Ethernet, the Enet port. So I actually bought off of Amazon the yellow cable. It was 20 bucks. It was Prime, so you get it in 2 days. So I suggest getting that before you even get this tune. All right, go get yourself this cable if it's the first thing you do, just simply because when you buy the tune, you're gonna be able to tune your car at that instant. You know what I'm saying? It's not gonna take you days. That same day you'll be able to tune your car. So just make sure you have that cable available and ready, due to the fact that once the day that I got my tune, I didn't even have that cable yet, and I thought I might be able to buy it somewhere locally. You can't. They don't have it anywhere locally. They don't. So get it, even though it's 20 bucks, get it, sit on it up until you save up the 500-600, whatever it is you're gonna spend, whatever system you decide on going with, whatever tune you decide on going with. That Enet cable to the OBD2 is definitely a must. It's super important. It's 20 bucks. Just get it off of Amazon for 20 bucks, and it comes in 2 days. If you have Prime, if you don't, just wait a couple days, whatever. Just make sure you have it, okay, because you're gonna need it. Other than that, it's just the best system. Now, I'm not gonna show you guys how to tune your car. There's a bunch of videos out there showing you how to use BootMod. There's a bunch of videos showing you how to, you know, do what you want to do on it. If you want to like do the 3-step, no wait, I think that's whatever, beamer connected, or so I'm getting confused with what you can do. I'm getting very confused with what you can do on BootMod and Beamer Code. Yeah, it's called Beamer Code. Beamer Code is actually great too. For 30 bucks, you have an unlimited lifetime. You use it all the goddamn time to unlock the unfolded mirrors and all that stuff too. That's a different video. I could, you know, I kind of walk through that. Again, don't have to show you guys. It's all over YouTube. I don't need to do it for you guys. This is not so much a DIY channel, so I won't. There'll be a lot of non-DIYs. Of course, I'll have some, but I kind of just don't have the patience to be on camera, try to show what and this, and I don't have that patience personally. If I see something that's not on YouTube, I'll go ahead and take the time and do it for you all. But if there's something that's on YouTube all over the place where you can find anybody doing it, and they have great videos just explaining to you how to use it and all that stuff, I'm not gonna take the time and do it again. Like, it's just kind of like no point. But whatever, BootMod definitely does help. It definitely helps the car. Now, did I feel a difference from stock to stage 1? Absolutely, yes. It was way faster, more responsive, just more flow. Again, I started with a cold air intake. It's not like I just completely stock and just tuned it. The cold air intake, what I noticed, now you can say whatever you want, you guys can, I know you're gonna go crazy in the comments, you're like, oh, there's no way that you felt that or whatever. Once you put a cold air intake in this car, okay, it decreased a lot of the lag of when I would floor the actual pedal. Like when I was push the pedal to the floor, it would decrease the lag of responsiveness significantly. So that was pretty dope. Now, I suggest anybody getting cold air intake, if you're gonna do their first mod, always go with a cold air intake. It's just like the first thing. It's the easiest thing to do. It's more flow to the car. It's just takes away the lag of the responsiveness to the pedal, and it's great. So go for that. Definitely did feel the difference from stock to stage 1. I suggest anybody doing that change, if you're gonna do it, definitely do it. BootMod, very trusted. They do update their stuff. They're on top of everything. They always, you know, they're trying to go with the new things. If there's new tunes or whatever available, they'll update everything, you know. So, and it actually saves your stock tune as well, so you're not going to lose your stock factory tune. It's a system where you're in there, it saves it automatically. You got your stock tune, you can go to stage 1 off rip, and you actually have stage 193 or stage 191 depending on where you are, what type of ethanol content you can get. There's that as well. So you just got to be very careful with what you're picking and what you're tuning onto your car. You can't always revert back, or you can't always change it up. However, just make sure that you are tuning the right tune on your car. You don't mess it up. I don't want to take any liability for that. Obviously, I'm not taking liability for it. You have to read, you have to read, you have to read. It's a very simple little paragraph they give you at the bottom of each tune name, but you have to read. Make sure you don't put the wrong tune on your car, because your car will drive like shit. It will drive like shit. I know, because I fucked around, put the wrong tune one time, and it was just like, I was like, what the fuck is this? So definitely. But for BootMod, definitely get BootMod, y'all. You guys will definitely not be wasting your time. You guys will definitely enjoy it. I definitely feel like you won't be led wrong. You won't be disappointed. You won't feel like your money was wasted. But do your research on all the other tuners, as there are. I actually didn't do my research. I did somewhat of a research when it came to the tuning thing. I saw BootMod had like the most like following or whatnot, and I did some research on it. It was great. I just like, I saw some reviews or whatnot. I heard nothing but good things, so I just went with them. And they're, to me, again, their advertising is just better. Their advertising was better. You have a dope logo. It reminds you of BMW. You're like, okay, this is for BMW specifically, and it's just a lot better when it comes to, you know, advertising wise, eye-catchiness, systems that they use. I feel like it's great. I feel like it's amazing. There's no complaints for it for me, and yeah. So this is it for this episode, guys. If you guys have any questions, any comments, you guys want to see any type of content, want to know more about my car, want to know any type of specific things, what I've done to my car, whatever, any suggestions down below, go ahead and put that in the comments. Make sure you hit the like and subscribe button, all right, because we will be going ahead and dropping content as much as I can. I'm definitely trying to do it on an everyday basis. However, with me working and stuff like that, not really having the help of, you know, editing and stuff like that, I don't know how to edit. I'm gonna have to figure this shit out. We're gonna have to wing it. So that's why a lot of these videos, at least in the beginning, are just gonna be like full one take. You know, if there's fuck ups, there's fuck ups. If I can manage to edit some stuff out, great. If not, I'm sorry. We'll go ahead and practice on all that. My goal is, of course, to like be big enough where I can maybe hire somebody to do the editing, so we can give you guys some dope content, some dope videos, so we can really get some nice recording. Maybe have somebody record me do the things, record, you know, kind of like walkthroughs of the car while I talk, maybe have some voiceovers, stuff like that. I just go from there. I don't think I have a lot of time to research how to video edit. I'm sure it's not hard. I haven't really gone onto YouTube to see how their system, like their page even works. So we're gonna figure this shit out, y'all. Y'all stick with me, y'all, you know, ride with me. Let's thug it out together, and you know, let's just grow from here.